it's important for political people to put themselves in situations like this, because it's very valuable. It makes us refine our thoughts. It makes us think about things. And the odd question that you can't answer. So what? We're all humans. I mean, we're not gods here. So I'm more than happy to have the occasional slip up, because I gain a lot. I understand what you're thinking. Right. I'm not seeking support from anybody. I'm very clear that our fight is our fight, right? And the BJP likes to twist this stuff. But no, I'm not seeking support from anybody. But there is a group of young students from India here, and I want to have a relationship with them, and I want to talk to them, right? And I think it's my right to do it. I mean, I don't understand why the Prime Minister doesn't come here and do it.
Prime Minister Modi, you're welcome at Stanford anytime. We would love to have you as well.
Come and have a chat, you know what I mean?
We've been fortunate to have...
Answer some hard questions.
Or every few months across India to gather information.
No, it's not a bad thing.
Perhaps.
I mean, every year is difficult. Probably not possible. But I think a little bit of movement's not a bad thing.
Fair enough. That's a good point. But somehow, in a democracy, we expect this to be institutionalized in some way, right? Same as in the US. As you said, we have a disconnect, it sometimes feels like, between what our people want and what our politicians say or what our politics are all about.
I think the disconnect has a lot to do with concentration of wealth and sort of the inequality in society, and also the political system not being able to catch up with the social media and the technology. So there's a little bit of lag between the political system and the technological progress. And I think democracies are struggling with that.
I'm clearly not as familiar with India as you are, but when I work with young adults, I hear from them the same thing. I want a government job. They're not saying I want to work in a factory, right? Their aspirations are in some sense misaligned to the vision of manufacturing.
So that's the mindset change that has to be brought about, right? India has large number of skill clusters. In every district, there's a skill cluster, right? But we're not connecting that cluster with finance. We're not connecting that cluster with technology. We're not nurturing the ability to manufacture. By manufacturing, I don't necessarily mean massive factories the way China does. You could have small and medium factories. You could have technology-intensive factories. But at least get on with the business of production. It'll probably look very different in India than it looks in China. It'll probably be much more decentralized. So those things will emerge once you start discussing a potential vision. I also think that neither the United States nor India can do it alone. I think there's a synergy between our two countries that is required for it to happen.
The opposition party coming out here, they talk about the same sorts of things. India needs to make more in India. Manufacturing needs to take off. The US and India need to work together towards this vision. How would you say you differentiate yourself from the ruling power in this dimension?
I have a completely different concept of India. I don't see India the way they do. They see India as a top-down, centralized system I see India as multiple cultures, multiple religions, multiple languages. I see it as a decentralized system. I don't think one state should impose itself on another state. I don't think one language should be imposed on the people of India. So it's two completely different visions of India. Right? I actually don't believe that the BJP's vision of India can lead to production.
Can you say why?
I think because you need to decentralize power in India to produce. You won't be able to do it from Delhi. No, by the way, that's not a tough question. That's an easy question. Look, we have a relationship with Russia. We've had a relationship with Russia, and we have certain dependencies on Russia. So I would have a very similar stance as the government of India.
Presence has skyrocketed. You've delivered message at universities and clubs across US, UK, and more. Here I'm trying to make Stanford feel special, but unfortunately we were among the last to get you. When we see struggles between the ruling party and the opposition in other democracies, we hardly ever see the opposition seeking international support outside the foreign ministry. You've gone rogue in some respects.
No,
right?
I'm not seeking support from anybody. I'm very clear that our fight is our fight, right? And the BJP likes to twist this stuff, but no, I'm not seeking support from anybody. But there is a group of young students from India here, and I want to have a relationship with them, and I want to talk to them, right? And I think it's my right to do it. I mean, I don't understand why the Prime Minister doesn't come here and do it.
Prime Minister Modi, you're welcome at Stanford anytime. We would love to have you as well.
Come and have a chat, you know what I mean?
We've been fortunate to have...
Answer some hard questions.
And not surprisingly, you've made a number of complaints about how the opposition is excluded from decision-making. Say Congress comes back to power, what protections and rights do you think you would extend to the opposition? How would you rebuild
I think our record is very clear. You can see the record of the UPA government. We didn't do any of this stuff, you know. We were not threatening the opposition. We were not putting cases in the opposition. It's just not something we do. So this is a new style of politics that has come into India, and we certainly don't believe in it.
So is it just a political thing, though, or would you institutionalize some protections?
I mean, there are institutionalized protections which have been torn apart, right? So yes, it would be strengthening those protections. It would be strengthening the institutional framework. But what is going on back home is not normal. It's not something that, you know, has been done even by the BJP before.